Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me for Bree Bears Books, with the podcast where I talk about all things books, whether that's authors, the books themselves, or just review books. This chapter we are going to do a dive into the two books that I have begun reading and are almost finished with. I started these books about 3 to 4 days ago. I have been really busy the last couple days, so I haven't really gotten a chance to read as fast as I'd like to. The first book that I picked out and read is If I Never Met You by Mari McFarlane. This is about a girl named Lori, her boyfriend of many years, and her end things suddenly, and then his girlfriend gets pregnant, and they work at the same law firm, so it gets back to her very fast, and she feels humiliated, but instead of just taking the humiliation, she ends up basically making a deal with the office playboy because his bosses want him to become more professional and have a more steady girlfriend. So she makes a she makes a deal with him to be his pretend girlfriend, and same for him. So they're just fake dating and seeing where that goes. I haven't gotten too far into that one. I'm only about halfway through and I'm really enjoying it so far. The other book that I'm reading is called Taken by Erin Bowman, sorry. It's about these different cities that are actually in like these domes. Well, the first one that you read about is Claysut, and you're following this boy named Gray in his city, Claysut, on every boy's 18th birthday at midnight. They have this heist where that boy just suddenly disappears. Nobody knows what happens to them. They just automatically think that they die. So that's been interesting to read. One day he finds out that he is actually 18 years old and he survived the heist. So in his mind, that tells him, instead of it actually just being like some otherworldly event where nature takes over and ends up taking that person and heisting them, that it goes by public records. So his medical records that are showing that he's 17 instead of 18 is what the people who perform the heist go by. So he finds out that he's actually 18 and he survived the heist because they go by medical records. So he and his girlfriend Emma decide to take the leap and climb over the wall. So their city is surrounded by a wall, but every time somebody tries to go over the wall, a burnt corpse comes back the next day. So most people just automatically think it's suicide, and when Gray takes the leap and goes over, that's what he's expecting, is to be burned to death and sent back over the wall to Claysut. Well, that isn't the case. He actually ends up getting rescued by two people. Him and his girlfriend both get rescued by these two men who take him to a new town called Tame. Now, in this new town, he starts talking to the leader, Frank, and telling him that he is actually 18, he survived the heist, and everything like that, and he takes a special interest in Gray and is trying to figure out more information and dig deeper on him. So that is really interesting. It's kind of different than what I'm used to reading, but it's really interesting, and it's been a very quick read for me. I have less than 50 pages left of it, and it's still kept my interest, even though it's kind of slowing down towards the end. But I do know it's the first book in a 3-book series, so I'm excited to see what book 2 and 3 hold. I'm actually going to go to the library probably tomorrow and pick up book 2 for sure, and then maybe pick up another book as well. Now, I'm trying to get back onto my list of my February prediction reads and read some of the books I put on there. I just was in the Valentine's Day spirit and saw If I Never Met You by Mari McFarland on the library bookshelf when I went there the other day. And I know one of my favorite YouTubers, her name is Haley Pham. She talks a lot about Marley McFarland's books, and I have a couple of them on my to be read list. I think she has one or two on her 5-star shelf. And so far this If I Never Met You is up there. I would say I'm halfway through, and I would say right now it's at about a 4-star. I like the speed and rate that it's going. I like how quickly the story is being told, and I'm not losing interest as easy as some books when they start to slow down. So it's been very fun reading that. Now this podcast I am going to leave a little bit shorter than the rest of them, partially because I'm getting sick. You can hear that probably in the podcast, but also because I'm just doing a small dive into the 2 books that I've started so far this month. And next chapter I will do a dive on a couple more and do my overall review for the books that I've read. I am also still reading and doing a review for the book. Let me find it real quick. It's The Empowered that it released on December 24th of 2024. And I started reading it. It's caught my interest pretty quick, so that's definitely going to be one that I probably have on like my 3 to 5 star rating list. So I will talk more about that once I get all the way through it and actually can leave my review both on Amazon and then talk about it more on my podcast. If you guys would like to recommend any books for me to read, have any questions about anything, or if you would like a book recommendation, you can feel free to contact me through my Facebook, my Instagram, or here on YouTube in the comment section, all under Bree Bears Books. Or you can email me at breebearsbooks@gmail.com. It is just BRIBEARSBOOKS@gmail.com. Thank you so much again for listening in. As I said, I'm going to keep this one a little bit short, and I hope to see you guys again next week when I do more of a dive again on these books. I'll tell you how they ended, as well as another dive on the rest of the books that I get into. But until then, I hope you guys remember that there is always time for another chapter. Thanks.